Hey everyone, this is Alonda. Today we're going to do a 16-month recap of my GLP-1 weight loss journey. For those of you who are new, my name's Alonda. I'm a 48-year-old mother of 6, a high school teacher, and I'm on a GLP-1 weight loss journey. My goal is to lose over 100 pounds, Currently, I'm at 192.5. And I say that with so much pride because for the last 4 months, I've been in a stall. Oh yeah, it's been a stall. I started at 264.7 pounds. For reference, I am 5'3", I'm a shorty. And I'm still 5'3", but now I'm 192.5. I tend to do a weekly upload, so every Friday I do my injection, my video, and my weigh-in. So if you are interested in following the journey, feel free to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I am sending out an update. So let's get into this. For argument's sake, I am not going to start with month 1, month 2, month 3. I'm not going to do that because I've been on it 16.69 months. So in literally 2 weeks, it'll be 17 months. I'm not going to go through all 17. For argument's sake, I'm going to group my months and we will start with month 1 through 3. Now, just for understanding, I got on the GLP-1 because I saw a photo of myself that I did not like. That was not a good photo. And I kind of gotten to the point where I didn't even care about my weight loss, like my weight. I didn't. I met with my doctor in January of 2024. She tried to talk to me about weight loss and I was like, nah, I'm good. And I'd actually been on Saxenda before. I did that for 2 years, lost 40 pounds, and I had come to the realization it is what it is. I got so comfortable with being it is what it is that my entire closet was made of tents. I wore dresses all the time. And once I saw that photo in February, I had a wake up call, a aha moment, if you would say. So I quickly called my doctor back and I said, hey, you remember you were talking about that medication? Can we talk a little bit more? And before the week's end, I had picked up the medication on a Wednesday and I had given myself my first injection. So my first month on the journey, I was so open-minded because in my mind, this had to be the saving grace. Remember, I had already given up. I'd already said, I'm just gonna be a big girl and it is what it is. But I was also on 8 different medications. So my body was struggling to adapt and to accept that my body is what it is. Once I first took my medication of name brand tirzepatide, immediately I started having side effects. And to be honest, I didn't care about the side effects. If it was gonna work, I was gonna take every side effect possible. I kid you not. So my first month on the journey, I was in it to win it. It didn't matter what was coming my way. And to be honest, by the second day, I had sulfur burps. By my 4th day, I had severe constipation. I was not drinking enough water at all. I was dealing with leg cramps. I had a slew of things. But I kid you not, in the first 6 weeks of me being on the medication, I had lost 18.9 pounds. First 6 weeks of being on the medication, a box and a half, I had lost 18.9 pounds. At this point, my doctor could have told me, hey, FYI, your arm is going to get numb half of the day as long as you keep taking a shot, and I probably would have kept taking a shot. Like, okay, it's fine, I'll make it work. Because the medication was working. Now, truth be told, I hadn't changed my eating habits. I had not worked out. I didn't do any of those things. I was just letting the magic happen, which is actually where I fell short on my first GLP-1 weight loss journey when I was on Saxenda. I did nothing. For 2 years, I did not do anything. I just let the medication work until it stopped working. And it took 2 years for that to happen. But I lost 40 pounds. Never in a million years would I have thought I would have gained the weight back, but I did. So month 1 through 3, by the end of my 3rd month, so 12 weeks in, I had lost 29 pounds. Yeah, buddy. By the end of my 3rd month, I had lost 29 pounds. Now, I did learn during that time to eat on small plates because I was noticing that my hand, my heavy hand, was not working for me. I would make a plate and then I would waste food. I would just move it around after a few bites. So to save time and money, I got we've always had small plates, but I actually started using them. Our small plates were for dessert. Now they became my main plate. So I would get my small plate, I would make my plate, my kids would even help me out by making my plates on a small plate, and then I would just portion size that. So for the last year, I've portion sized based on that logic of eating on a small plate. Oh yeah, y'all, it's a win, it's a mind shift change. So by the end of my 12 weeks, which was 3 months, I had lost 29 pounds. It was a win. When I moved on to month 4 through 6, that's when I really started shifting my mind. I started drinking more water, knocked out the constipation. I actually started even dealing with movement. Now I'm a school teacher. So by month 4, I was leading into summer. So summer gave me an ample opportunity to do stuff. My son, competitive swimmer, I was sitting out there for 2 hours just waiting on him swimming. And so I started walking the parking lot. Then I got home, I would walk the neighborhood. We have a pool, so I started getting in the pool and doing water aerobics. Now, this is truly the first time in a long time that I utilized, I hope y'all don't hear it, but we're about to have a storm in Houston. It's the first time in a long time that I utilized working out or physical movement with the sole purpose of losing weight. I wanted the medication to work, but I had a lot of weight. I had 100 pounds to lose. So I felt like if I start working out, I could help the momentum, already 29. Kid y'all not. In my mind, by July going into August, I thought I was gonna lose 100 pounds. Girl, you're gonna lose 100 pounds. It's gonna be beautiful. You're gonna be fine, sexy by the end of summer. So I did everything I could. Water, small foods. Basically, I had a mind shift change. I shift my mind to understanding that the medication was a tool. And y'all know what? By the end of 6 months of being on the medication, I lost 40 pounds. I sure did. I lost 40 pounds. So in my mind, you only have 60 more pounds to go. You can do this. You can do this. Now, as much as I was so excited about everything working in my plan, as the summer came to an end, my old habits started to kick in. I put my children first. I stopped walking the way I was trying to walk. I did continue to eat on small plates, and I did continue to drink a lot of water. But this is where I started wearing the tents again. I started putting on the big dresses. I'm going back to school, y'all. It's August. I haven't changed my wardrobe. I also started to realize I had body dysmorphia. And putting on the old clothes was not helpful at all. Not at all. Now, what was beautiful is that when I started going back to work, everyone saw the weight loss. They were like, wow, how much have you lost? I'm like, I've lost 40 pounds. I've lost 40 pounds. They could see it. I couldn't necessarily see it on myself, but I could feel it in my clothes. Some of my shirts were hanging off of me. Some of my pants were, up and down with them. I didn't even have to pull my pants, unbutton my pants to use the bathroom. I just pull them down. Now keep in mind, some of my pants were maternity pants. And yes, my son is 11, going on 12. But when they're comfortable, they're comfortable. So by the time we hit 12 months of my journey, I was 60. I'm not sure if y'all heard that, but that's thunder. I was 60 pounds down. 1 year, 60 pounds down. That could not compare to my 40 pounds in 2 years. Okay? It was unbelievable. So to celebrate, I took part of Vlogmas, you know, where you record every day. I wanted to share the knowledge. Everyone, hey, it's working, it's working. Until it stopped working. When I hit month 12, so again, for 6 months to 12 months, so within that same range, I had lost an additional 20 pounds. So I was now 60 pounds down. Okay, so 12 months in, 60 pounds down. In my mind, I had somewhere between 40 and 50 pounds left. So I was almost at the halfway mark. Matter of fact, I'll put up this little picture because I got to a moment where my weight loss journey was just kind of like at a blah. Like I thought I'd be closer to a healthy weight island, but I was still kind of floating around in between obese island and happy weight island. And this in-between thing, that sucked. That sucked. I had no more non-scale victories. The scale was coming to a standstill because that's when I got into my stall. Oh yeah, y'all. This girl was rocking a stall for 4 months. So we're gonna start at month 12 and we're gonna finish at month 16. Within that time, I only lost 10 pounds. Yes, y'all, I was in a 4-month stall. Talk about sucking, it sucked. Now, when I was on Saxenda and I hit my stall, I gave up on the medication. And I've been very honest on several of my videos, I really did contemplate stopping. Like, yeah. But what saved me was I was on a compound. So I was using a GLP-1 compound tirzepatide that was, you know, budget friendly, and I could continue to utilize the medication. And I told y'all, had I been using name brand and having to spend the $1,600, actually it probably would have been more than that, because 4 months times 550, which is what I pay, and the scale was just playing within 10 numbers, y'all. Even a normal person would say, girl, you're losing your mind. Why keep spending the money if the scale's not moving? But because I was on compound, I was able to just kind of push through it until my doctor said, hey, one, we need to look at what you're eating. So I got with a dietitian and come to find out I was just in a calorie deficit for way too long. My body stopped trusting me. So my body said, okay, you just not gonna eat, we just not gonna lose any more weight. So I started increasing what I ate. I moved up to 1,600 to 1,650. She really wanted me to go to 1,800, but I didn't see that being realistic. I increased my water and I started doing more movement. Now, when I say movement, I started walking more. I have a walking pad. And I also started trying to strength train. Now, I only do 10 to 12 minutes twice a week because mentally I just haven't locked in. I have the key, I see the door, I'm touching it, but I'm not actually locked in to strength training the way I know I need to be. The motivation's just not there. And that's just me being honest and transparent. So now I am in month 12 to month 16, and I'm starting to see the door open a little bit more for me. So I'm almost going back to the weight loss. Currently, like I said, I'm 192.5. I played between 196 and 195 for 3 months. For 3 months. And now that the scale is actually moving, I am ready to keep diving into the success. So, how much have I lost so far? 72 pounds. That's right, people, 72 pounds down. And I do feel like a new person. I'm gaining the confidence. Some people would even say, you kind of changed. You're acting a little different. Well, older, heavy-set Alonda didn't have the confidence to say how I felt, to do the things I wanted to do, to really put forth the effort. I lied to myself and said, well, I'm gonna focus on my children. I'm gonna focus on my children. Well, reality is if I really was focusing on my children, I would have made sure that my body, mind, and soul, health-wise, is here for my children. What's the point of me being here, helping them achieve, but then I die within the next 5 years from all my health concerns and complications? So I've shifted my mind, even in that respect, to make sure that I am going to be here for my babies. And if I have to keep taking the medication and making these little goals, I'm doing it. I am doing it, even down to the movement. I am trying. I am doing it. So in my last 16 months of being on a GLP-1 weight loss journey, I've lost 72 plus pounds. I'll put the number up here. But the journey continues. The journey continues. My goal weight is 150. My doctor actually says 135. But let's just get to 150 first and see how it goes. I hope y'all are well, and I wish y'all the best.